Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. You're watching the post-lunch show presented by the IDFC First Bank. I am Tripathi and I'm joined by Debushi Sen. First session is done. India 88 for the loss of 2 wickets in 25 overs bowled. 2 wickets. Both openers are already gone. First it was KL Rahul trying to cut delivery similar to what Yashasvi Jaiswal tried to do in ball in the last innings, and looking good. It was looking good. He has already played out the first hour, but then in order to cut the delivery, the outgoing delivery, he perished. And then afterwards, then Yashasvi Jaiswal, a free-flowing Yashasvi Jaiswal was there on display, but then again one shot too many. He tried to play. He already struck three boundaries in that over of Asitha Fernando, but then he went for another shot and then inside edge. Bit unfortunate once again in the first innings, and that's how Yashasvi Jaiswal got out. Uh, I would say this will be Sri Lanka's session, Devashish, because 2 wickets openers have already gone, and it's not just about the wickets, it's about the way they bowled. They induced edges as well. If you talk about Yashasvi Jaiswal, Keshara Novanta induced an edge of Yashasvi Jaiswal, but then at the end, Shubman Gill also looked a bit tentative against spin.
I think more than the Sri Lankan bowlers, the Indian batsmen will feel very unhappy with them with the manner in which they got out, especially KL Rahul slashing us an outside the off delivery. No need at that out because both the openers were looking straight, and Yashasvi Jaiswal means unfortunate dismissal yet again. But something was told, something was clearly told because I was down at the ground and something was told because Yashasvi will not react to until and unless he was told something. So I think that the series was going on in a good spirit, but I think that cannot be said after the first session because something clearly was told from. Maybe it was Niroshan Dikwela because he does all the talking behind the wicket, but it was unfortunate for Yashasvi's part as well to go out and react in the manner in which he did. Coming to Mendes quickly came and just pacify things, but it shouldn't have happened. This series was played in right spirit yesterday. The Indian media was there with the Sri Lankan cricket officials. So, and there was a lot of good camaraderie, but this was unfortunate incident to have happened.
Yeah, definitely. There's no place for any sort of altercation on the field. If you talk about that particular incident, that obviously unfortunate what has happened in the first session. It was Asitha Fernando. The moment he got the wicket of Yashasvi Jaiswal, he gave him a send off. But then Yashasvi was going towards the dressing room. And suddenly what happened? Even we were surprised. He then turned back towards the bowler, and then there was some physical altercation as well, which obviously is never good to see, irrespective of where the cricket is being played. But very unfortunate. But something has been said. It is not just this test match. It has been going since the first test match when Rishabh Pant was batting. Niroshan Dikwela, as Devashi said, that he's been the most lively character, continuously talking whenever the Indian batters are there. Obviously, he's the wicket keeper, so he was talking when Rishabh Pant was there. And when Niroshan Dikwela came on to bat, it was Yashasvi Jaiswal who tried to fire him up, tried to ride him up, and it actually worked in favor of India because Prasidh Krishna got the wicket of Niroshan Dikwela in the same over in which Yashasvi was trying to get under his skin. So yes, between Yashasvi Jaiswal and Sri Lanka, this has been going since the first test only. But verbal battles are good, Devashish, but the moment you push each other, I think that's where you cross the line.
Yeah, absolutely. And that shouldn't have happened. There is no place for physical conflict, and that is where I think both whoever is definitely Yashasvi will be penalized for his action, which shouldn't have happened. But definitely he shouldn't have reacted in the manner in which he did. But clearly, there was something being told, and I have no doubts whatsoever. There was something being told from someone from that Sri Lankan team, and that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it has happened in recently this year only, earlier this year when the A teams were playing between Vaibhav Suryavanshi and the group of Sri Lankan players in Dambulla, it happened. Then to see this at this level from players like Yashasvi Jaiswal and Sri Lanka, obviously no player will react in that manner unless you say something out of sort. So I think that we don't know the exact story. If we do know something, we will obviously get back to the same topic. But Yashasvi Jaiswal was looking very fluent once again. 45 stroke field innings, exactly the way he was looking in Gaul as well in the first innings. Once again, he already struck 3 boundaries in the same over. I think he pushed for one more. He could have easily left that ball. He pushed for one more, and that's where he got the inside edge and got out.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get over Asitha and that was the reason that got to his downfall. Means it was too close to cut, and that was the reason that he dragged the ball onto his stump. Unfortunate dismissal. He looked good. Means obviously he was unfortunate in the first innings as well. Clearly, he was expecting to get some big runs, but that was not to be. But now the onus will be on Shubman Gill and Devdutt Padikkal because this India will, I would say, will not be extremely disappointed, but at the same time, they need to have a partnership, which is which has not been the case. There hasn't been a considerable partnership, which was the case in Gaul in the first inning. That 146 runs partnership between KL Rahul and Devdutt Padikkal, but the owners again will be Devdutt Padikkal looked a bit scratchy at the start, so as well as Shubman Gill. But again, this will be a very trying session for India.
Devashish, in the Gaul test, bulk of the scoring was done by the top order. You see, contributions came from Devdutt Padikkal in the first innings, KL Rahul again, that big partnership. Even in the second innings, 50-run partnership between KL Rahul and Devdutt Padikkal, the standout player of the test. Now KL Rahul is already back, Yashasvi Jaiswal is already gone. Shubman Gill got out to the same bowler, Prabhat Jayasuriya, who troubled him in the last spell as well before lunch. Now onus is on Shubman Gill. Yes, you have a Devdutt Padikkal who was the player of the match, has scored runs, but Shubman Gill hasn't scored runs in the last 2 innings, and he has been got out the same bowler. How much of a mental thing? Because the moment Shubman Gill arrived at the crease, Prabhat Jayasuriya was introduced from that, and then you see that battle. Prabhat Jayasuriya, whatever we have seen little in the last session, seems like Prabhat Jayasuriya is certainly on top of Shubman Gill at the moment.
Yeah, there's a bit of psychological battle in the middle, and which we can expect, But I think Shubman Gill needs to be calm. Because obviously, we know what a batter he has been. These are means obviously there will be some chirping behind, there will be some sledging, but I think the onus will be on Shubman Gill. He needs to be calm and patient because he can clearly make a difference in the first inning along with Devdutt Padikkal. Because he is the senior partner now. He needs to guide Devdutt Padikkal because there is no way that you can lose another wicket in this season. If India can go to the tea session without losing a wicket, India will stand handy. At least 70-80 runs will be scored, and I think that will be definitely a very pleasing thing for the dressing room.
Yeah, because if you look at the way this pitch has played, yesterday captains Dhananjay De Silva said there will be a good carry on this surface, and if you actually compare it with the Gaul surface, there is extra bounce from this surface that only not just the fast bowlers getting in. Kesharan Nuwanta troubled Devdutt Padikkal with a delivery that spun and that took bite the surface and that took a extra bounce from the surface. So that tells you that there is enough extra bounce from this wicket, and that's why Devashish 7 overs were bowled by each. Both fast bowlers, Asitha Fernando, Lahiru Kumara, both wicket takers. First spell obviously 4 overs each, and then you gave small spells to the fast bowler, but there is definitely something on offer. We saw the sea movement as well at the first hour, and then extra bounce doing the trick. In case of KL Rahul's dismissal, and even for Jaiswal Jaiswal's dismissal.
Yeah, that has kept everyone interested in this match. There has been something on offer for everyone. The batsmen could make runs, they could play strokes. At the same time, I think the credit should be given to Dhananjay De Silva. Though he slipped a catch, he got a pretty straightforward chance, but he could not latch on to it. There was a catch that was a pretty difficult one at points, but that I think that should have been taken as well. So I think both the opportunities was lost. Now it is up to Devdutt Padikkal to cash in. In goal as well, he gave a chance, but that chance was not taken by Sri Lanka, and he made them pay. So maybe this session might just ease out for the batters, and we can see both Shubman Gill and Devdutt Padikkal cashing in. These are ideal conditions. Yes, the wicket is offering a bit, but at the same time, stroke making is easy.
Sports fan is asking, could Yashasvi face serious repercussions such as match ban for this headbutt? No, no, I don't think this will happen. Yes, you will face some sanctions, some cut of match fees, but I don't think ban will happen. I don't think that is going to happen because eventually it will not come down to only one player. It will be, sanctions will be posed to Asitha as well because he had something to say. It's not only that Yashasvi Jaiswal will fall in the firing line. It will be from Sri Lanka as well, a Sri Lankan team, whoever has said whatever in the middle. So yes, but that is obviously that is something that we will have to get more information on that exactly what happened. From the outside, it looked like something was said. That's why Yashasvi turned his back. Otherwise, it hasn't happened in Yashasvi's career so far. So very strange to see. But again, in these conditions, and with Yashasvi, you also know that if you look at his last 5 innings, you know, 2 Test matches against South Africa at home last year, failed in the entire series, got out to Marco Jansen twice in the same series. Then even against Afghanistan couldn't score big runs. Now he's coming in the goal. He failed in both the innings. Although one first innings dismissal was very unfortunate. But now if you see, not just 5 innings, 7 innings. 7 innings, Yashasvi Jaiswal, 4 Test matches, hasn't scored a lot. I think this is the biggest period where he hasn't scored a big runs in his Test career.
See, I mean, obviously, we cannot say that Yashasvi Jaiswal has a long career.
Yeah,
long
it is.
Test career. But yes, it has been a lean pack. But for every batter or a bowler, there will be a lean pack. The thing is that how he bounces, because the next series that is coming up is against New Zealand. That will be even more challenging than the conditions is. So I think Gautam Gambhir needs to have a word with him. Gautam Gambhir and Sitanshu Kotak. I think Sitanshu Kotak will have a major role to play because he is the one who has the maximum conversations with Yashasvi Jaiswal in the leagues. This is something that he needs to work upon because he was clearly looking very safe and confident the way he was playing. But that rash shot, I think that has got to do with the excessive T20 cricket, I would say.
Impressed with Asitha Fernando has been the pick of the all seam bowlers from both the sides so far in the series.
Yeah, absolutely. And he for the first time in the series, he looked like he is the spirit of this Sri Lankan bowling attack. He has taken the onus on, and you can also see from the reaction of Lahiru Kumara the way he got after he got Rahul dismissed. So clearly, both the Sri Lankan pacers have looked really charged up, and you could make it out. You could make it out from what it was in Gaul and first innings here. Means clearly they were bending their back. They were trying to do that extra bit. It's trying to rattle the Indian batters with the pace and bounce, and that has worked somewhat. And I would say in cricket in terms, they had got under the skin of Indian batters, especially the Indian openers.
Drawn Krishna is asking what is the safe score India should target in the first innings.
See, if you're batting first on a test in a test match, I would still say that the second section will be ideal for batting. Anything over 450 is the bare minimum. I won't jump the gun and say that India should score 600 or 550 or 500. Anything above 450, you will take it. Bare minimum is 400.
In World Test, they were in a commanding position, 288 for 2, and from there they could not even touch 500. So things can change rapidly in a hour's time, that we have seen in Gaul as well. So India will be looking to post obviously in excess of 450, 500. They'll be aiming as high as they can, but again, it will be important not to chase that big target and build partnership, because this game is about partnerships. There hasn't been a single 50-run partnership yet, or yes, it's just a start of the match, but India will be looking at the pair of Devdutt Padikkal, India's number 3, and Shubman Gill, the captain, to stitch up long partnership so that India can get back into this game, because Sri Lanka, they have created chances. They have taken a couple of wickets as well. The bowlers have looked threatening. The plans have been good. Apart from the catching aspect, I think Sri Lanka have been on the top so far in this game. They have read the conditions beautifully, although they have lost the toss. but they seems to be on top. And if they take a couple of wickets more in this session,
Yeah,
Debashish,
sure.
then they will be definitely looking to bundle out India early.
Yeah, obviously. This session is very crucial. This session is very crucial for both the sides. Means for India, they all they need to do is to build on this partnership. This partnership is already looking promising. Some 20-25 runs have already been added, and for Sri Lanka, the sooner they break this partnership and get into that lower middle order and lower middle order. Yes, India and do back till number 8, Manav Sutar. And now we have a Sarang's Day.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we have a Sarang's Day. So I think Sri Lanka will also have having the back of the mind that this Indian batting is quite long. So the onus, but again, as I said, the onus will be on Shubman Gill and Devdutt Padikkal to build on this partnership in this second session.
Especially Shubman Gill, because Shubman Gill is due for big runs and he would want to make his mark before this tour ends. As a captain, obviously, winning the series will be important, but to scoring runs in Test cricket, obviously, we know how much Shubman promotes Test cricket, likes Test cricket, wants to do better in this format. So obviously, Shubman Gill will hold the key, as is Devdutt Padikkal, the informed batter. So yeah, let's see how many runs India will add to their total of 88 in the second session. How many wickets Sri Lanka will take? It's going to be a very intriguing session. Let's see who comes out on the top in the second session, and we will be back after the tea break. So don't forget to join us then. And thank you for watching. Once again, this live was presented by the IDFC First Bank. And thank you for watching. We'll keep updating you everything here from Ground Zero.